Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to the Monster Mile. It's the Kickass Beef Jerky Xfinity Series live right here on the Sim Racing Network, part of Sim500's competition, as we get set to go racing here on a beautiful Sunday evening here at the virtual Dover International Speedway. A little bit more dry than the real version, but nonetheless, Gael Brooks alongside me, Ben Kilcrease, Aaron Grosskopf getting the picture that you see to you. Here we go, Gael. 165 laps at the Monster Mile tonight. We saw it just chew up and spit out some trucks earlier in the week, and tonight, could be the same story for these Xfinity guys. Are really going to have to take it easy, have to get into a rhythm, and just ride for a good portion of the race and save their car. The big storyline of today.
Yeah, definitely going to have to take care of their equipment here, so it's easy to get hit by the monster at this track like it's advertised. So tire wear is definitely going to play a factor in it, and then I think also just going to be careful with getting off the turns 2 and 4, because it's really easy to get off the walls on the exit of these turns.
It's race number 10 tonight here in the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Series. Daniel Falkingham has the championship lead over Chad Coleman, Jordan Hightower, Justin Fuller, and Byron Daly. That's the top 5. Full standings can be found at sim500.com. We've had our fair share of winners this season. A couple of repeats with Daniel Falkingham, Steph Marinac, and Byron Daly with 3 on the schedule. Both David Comstock and Jordan Hightower have won, and they're our most recent winners. Hightower at Talladega, Comstock at Richmond a couple weeks ago. It's Dover tonight, like I said, race number 10, and well, one driver who is trying to make some history here in Sim500 competition. He won on last Monday in the Trans Service Cup Series. He won Wednesday. He won Midnight Thunder, and now he's going for his 4th win in a row here in Sim500 competition. He rolls off 5th, the big cat, Chad Cole. You got a copy, Ben Kilcrease, up here in the SRM booth.
Look at you, Ben.
Here you go, Chad. Not a lot of pressure here, but you're going for history here in Sim500. What's it going to take to get the win here tonight at the Monster Mile? Make it 4 in a row.
A really fast car and a mistake-free night, I think. This is probably the toughest competition I've seen in the 3 previous wins, against the 3 previous wins. So all 3 of those, I won them in a little different way. One was a plate track, one was fuel mileage, and one was Dover. Had a pretty good handle on that one, so I'm happy to be back at Dover for these tonight and tomorrow night.
Well, we wish you the best of luck rolling off 5th tonight. 165 laps, plenty of time for you to get to the front. I think probably the best you've qualified in the past 10 or so races. So good luck, Chad. Make it 4 tonight, and then go for 5 tomorrow. How about that?
Sounds like a plan. I like that.
There you go. Chad Cole looking for win number 4 in a row. And now let's run you through the starting lineup here for the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Sunday Series. It's Justin Fuller rolling off on point, and he'll lead us to the green flag alongside Chad Coleman in the number 20.
So in row 2, actually got identical times with the 18 of Donnie Leah and the 39 of Daniel Falkingham, both running 23.995s.
We just talked to him. Chad Cole rolls off 5th there in the 82. Outside of him, it'll be Eric Arnold in the number 31.
So inside of row number 4, is Brian Macklin and Tommy Ryan.
Scott Simley and Jonathan Lockhart going to round out the top 10 as we get set to go green here at the Monster Mile. The rest of the field's going across the bottom of your screen, and Gael is the driver heading into this race. What's your strategy for these first opening 50 or so laps?
Really, I'd say I've actually been running a couple races here over this weekend, and it's really just trying to find a nice spot to really just trying to ride and pace yourself, because it's like when you're in a big pack or running 2x2, it's so stressful, just so easy to have something happen to you. So say if you can just find a nice spot, that's really the ideal situation where you can just kind of pace yourself and then hopefully save your stuff a little better than the guys around you.
Well, we'll find out how this race all shakes out. 165 laps. You're going to watch it live right here on the Sim Racing Network, and this is special just for our producer, and giving a shout out to my buddy Chet Christner. So here we go, boys and girls, children of all ages, pace car to pit road, Justin Fuller and Chad Coleman on the front row. It is time to drop the hammer. Blazing start for Justin Fuller. He's got a 10-car length lead as they race to the back straightaway. Battle for second is behind him. Donnie Leah to the inside of Chad Coleman. Coleman trying to fight back on the outside, but go ahead and give that spot to the 18 of Leah as he's up to second. Now the battle for third. Falkingham on the inside of Coleman. They'll go side by side down into corner number 1. Coleman starting to slip back a little bit on that outside line as now he's under attack from the 82 of Chad Cole.
Yeah, it looks like the top line is not where you want to be to start off. Looks like all the grip is at the bottom, so I think Fuller's going to try to clear himself right there, able to slide in front of Brian Macklin, kind of minimize the damage, and now try to make up some of that ground he just lost in that first lap.
So Chad Cole works his way up to 4th, Coleman back to 5th after starting outside of the front row on lap 3, so we'll see if he can kind of gather himself back up and assess what went wrong there on that initial start, as now he's under fire from the number 30 machine of Brian Macklin, who sits 6th. He wants the top 5 spot, and he's chasing after that 20 to get it. So Macklin all over the bumper of Coleman looking for a top 5 position. Behind them, Tommy Ryan, Eric Arnold, Scott Simley, and Paul Nicholas Cooper will round out the top 10. And for the most part, everybody single file and fence post formation. Got a slight battle for around the 12th position in one car up and into the wall. Not sure who that was. Looked to be the...
I'm seeing Daniel Falkingham with a lot of damage on his car.
Yeah, that was... Wow.
Taking a look right now. Yeah,
that was John
39.
Wilco. John Wilco in the number 62 was just off the pace on the back straightaway. Almost collected leader Justin Fuller, and then Falkingham just had nowhere to go but into the back of him. So terrible news and a terrible way to start off the race for the championship leader.
Yeah, taking a look at the car right now, and yeah, he's got a lot of damage, and I mean, there's a long way to go. He can hopefully try to get it fixed up as best he can, but yeah, that's definitely not the way he wanted to start it. And yeah, it looks like there was something happened early on in the race as well with Wilco, Nick Dames, Chris Cabot. He's actually left the race, and I think Steve Herring as well. So something happened towards the back that we weren't able to see. Maybe we can try to take a look during a yellow or something, or I can take a look later on. But yeah, that was not the kind of start they were hoping for.
Wow. So a wild way to start the race here at the Monster Mile. And, well, a lot of drivers described our Sarah Super Late Model Championship race on Sunday right here on the Sim Racing Network. They described that as different. And, boy, this race is starting out the same. I'm sorry, Thursday night that happened. And, boy, this race is about taking the same route as different. You know, we described these races as wild, crazy, etc., and those words just seem to get used up too much. And, well, different seems to be a different take, and that was certainly different as Falkingham, a lot of damage. He's fallen back to 8th right now, and my, oh my, just a bad break for the number 39 machine. Up front is Justin Fuller over Donnie Leah. And now Chad Cole, who has grabbed a 3rd position. 4th to Chad Coleman. 5th, Brian Macklin. And that's how they ride as we complete lap 10.
Yeah, so I want you to go take a quick look. And yeah, so it looked like what happened was, unfortunately, the 17 of Nick Thames kind of hooked on Brian Wertman in the middle of the turn. And then they kind of got stacked up behind him. Not enough to bring out a yellow, though. And that's what put a lot of those cars way down in the field and down on... kind of just down on momentum and speed. So yeah, really unfortunate to start for those guys.
So some mishaps early on costing some time to some of our drivers in the field. Nick Timms, the final car on the lead lap, 26th position. Everybody else behind him, 27th, John Wilco, Chris Caboo, Steve Herring have all left the speedway and pulled it behind the wall. Dan Mayer did not make the start in the number 32. Nonetheless, though, we keep an eye on everybody throughout the field, and for the most part, still single file. There's a couple battles going on here and there Byron Daly, one of those drivers, making some ground up through the field. He started 14th and has worked his way up to 11th so far, and he's found himself in a battle for 10th with Scott Simley as they race tail to nose, at least for the time being.
Yeah, so Mike Kelly and Jimmy North. I say on board here with Byron Daly. So take a look here.
Riding on board with the 3-time winner this season, Daly working to the bottom side. Simley about a half lane up at Dover. We saw on the truck race Wednesday, the track really started to widen out as the run goes on, and I can assume we'll see the same here in the Xfinity cars as the run goes on. 14 laps in on this initial green flag run of the night as Daly continuing to work on the bumper of Simley. They've got Daniel Falkingham just in front of them with that severe front end damage, who is for the most part holding his own in 8th, at least for now, and he's probably one of the only drivers in the field wanting a caution to maybe come down and repair some of that front end.
Yeah, so everybody's nice and pretty strung out, like we mentioned. So I'm taking a look at the lap times, and they're all pretty even throughout the top 5, really all within about a 1/10 of a second or so of each other. And yeah, it's just kind of hit or miss if they hit their marks a little better than the other. But yeah, right now, like, leader was a 129 to 119 of Donnie Leah. So yeah, they're right on top of each other right here lap time wise.
So it's been Justin Fuller since the drop of the green. That's 16 laps now he's led tonight. He led the first little bit of the truck race. Ran into some trouble, though, and kind of mired him back a little bit further than what he wanted to finish. Fuller doing everything he can to keep the lead here tonight and go on and maybe put a stop to Chad Cole's dominance here in Sim500 competition. Again, Chad Cole looking for his 4th Sim500 win in a row. And if he does that, he'll be the first driver in the history of Sim500 to do so. That would be a clean sweep of all series competition in 1 week, and Chad Cole looking to make that happen tonight. If anybody can do it, it's the driver of that 82.
Yeah, so I'm watching right now from around 9th, 10th place. They're in a little hornet's nest now, actually. Up you had the 06 trying to get by the 12. Now 12 is actually able to get by the 19, and just, yeah, they're all trying to go where the momentum is. So, yeah, there's some pretty good racing right here between these guys.
A lot of 2x2 racing. Looks like a pack at Daytona or Talladega, and almost going to make it 3 wide there on the back straightaway. Jordan Hightower thinks better of it in the 22, our winner back at Talladega, as he's trying to work his way through the field. Started 19th, he's up to 13th. Looking on the tail end of Jatina as they work down into turn number 1 and 2. Hightower looking to be one of the first cars to move up to the top side of the racetrack, and he's finding it's working for him. He closes on a bumper of Jatina again down into turn number 3. To the outside of the 14 goes the 22 of Hightower. They'll go side by side for the 12th spot over in turn number 4 and give it to Hightower there at the line, as he'll take the position from the outside line, and now he sets his sights on Nicholas Cooper there in the 19 as well, as they battle side by side in front of those guys. Sort of a crossover move there for Hightower down the back straightaway. Great action going on from 9th on back. They're side by side in front of this very racy group behind them.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to comment on, is what Jordan Hightower is doing is a really nice move where he's able to kind of get it in there a little middle top and then arc it down to get a really strong exit. Whereas right in front of him, you've got Byron Daly kind of pinned to the bottom. He just can't get the power down on exit. That's really what's hurting him, trying to get around Scott Simley in the 12.
So we'll continue to watch these guys as Hightower has caught the bumper of both of them and says, "Excuse me, pardon me, coming through." Boy, did Daly have a handful of wheel off turn 4 there, and he's going to have to surrender that position to the 12, at least for now. And we'll see if Simley decides to stay topside or go back to the bottom. But nonetheless, though, that allows Hightower to get around Daly as well, down into turn number 3 and 4. So move Hightower up into the top 10, and he is on the move in that number 22.
Yeah, he's making some good moves here, making the lines work for him. I think you'll see the exact same thing here. Run that middle top and then try to get that really nice arc on exit to get some good momentum. He'll need to be a little closer to 12 to get the run on him, but then I'll say the problem will be once he gets inside, that's where it's really challenging to try to get that power down, as you saw with the 0.6. You try to get on just that little bit too much and it really steps out from under you, just the way that this track is built.
Talk about the track, you go down into the corners and it feels like you almost fall off a cliff, and then coming off the corners it feels like you're about to do a stunt on a motorcycle. You almost jump up in the air. It feels like a lot of elevation change here on the 1 mile Dover International Speedway. Really makes for a fun track. It's fun to watch, it's fun to drive. It is just all around a great facility. Love coming to the Monster Mile, and these guys putting on one heck of a show for us. Just inside the top 10. Up front, though, it's been a Justin Fuller kind of night here at the Monster Mile so far. We work lap 26 of 165. We've been clean and green since the drop of the initial green flag, and Fuller gets a little loose down into turn number 1. Maybe starting to use up those tires a little bit, as tire strategy going to be a big one if we continue to see these green flag runs. Nonetheless, though, Fuller leads by about a second over Donnie Leah and Chad Cole. That's the top 3. You're watching the Kickass Beef Jerky Sunday Series live on the Sim Racing Network. You won't miss anything. We're going corner to corner. We'll be back from Dover.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
My doctor calls me and says, Chris, I have the results of your scan. This is saying you have lung cancer. And that was probably the single most shocking thing anyone's ever told me in my life.
How can I have lung cancer? I'm 39. How can I have lung cancer? I do kick myself almost daily for ever starting smoking. I really do.
Quit your way. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Welcome back to the Monster Mile. You can see Daniel Falkingham after some early contact in this one has got his hands full in a beaten and battered number 39 Camaro, and he is really struggling as he's almost outside of the top 15. He sits 15th right now for the time being, and he lost a good 7-8 spots just while we were under that commercial break, as that snarling pack kind of rushed around him and was able to get by him as he slipped up a couple times off turns 2 and 4. In front of that pack, it's Jordan Hightower leading Byron Daly and Mike Kelly. That's 8th, 9th, and 10th on the speedway.
Yeah, so I'm taking a look up front here, and it looks like starting to close up a little bit. You got Donnie Lee's within half a second now of Justin Fuller, with Chad just about half a second behind him as well. Again, running lap times with about a tenth of a second or so of each other, but looks like lately, though, they've been about half a tenth and faster.
So Fuller, we can start to see the leader starting to slip up a little bit here as the tires are most certainly going away, and he's sideways again down the back straightaway. You see the car dart to the inside, to the middle of the racetrack there. He is struggling as Donnie Leah catches him. Chad Cole catches him as well. Top three going to be tail to nose off turn 4 in the next couple laps or so as we work lap 38 of 165. Had some reports from the garage area, Gael, that we could go about 80 laps on a tank of fuel. Do we see anybody push it to 80 and try and make it only on one stop?
Yeah, it's a really good question. If it was me, I'd be tempted to. I really love doing that kind of pit strategy, especially because the pit road here is so slow. And so you're going to lose probably 2 laps with the green flag pit stop. But the thing is a tire fall off too. I mean, they're running about 2 seconds slower than their fastest laps of the race already, and we're at lap 40, and they, like I said, they can go 80. So I can only imagine how much more they're going to fall.
So we'll keep an eye on the pit strategy over the course of the run, and we'll see if the leaders decide to go 1 or 2 stop strategy. And you know, we haven't seen a caution yet today, which doesn't completely rule one out. We work lap 40 of 165, and boy, look at these top 3 guys. Oh, they are now all tail to nose as it is. It's almost looks like it's go time for the 2 behind leader Justin Fuller, but I think it's just the matter of the tire wear catching up to the 51.
Yeah, I'm watching him on the exits and then down that straightaway. He's definitely having to kind of wrangle it. It's kind of getting a little squirrely on him, so he's got to be a little careful. But the thing will be, Donnie can get to him, but getting around him is going to be a whole different story. Because you really need that whole track to get the power down. So they've got a good gap behind him from 4th place with Chad Coleman, though. So now's the time to start making the moves.
Look at this, top 3 going at it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind, we've gone 42 laps, green flag conditions, and the top 3 are this close battling for the lead, and they are putting on a show for us here at the Monster Mile. When does Donnie Leah make his move? Look at Fuller. He's all the way against the apron. Leah's about a half a lane higher, and then Chad Cole, one of the first drivers to kind of reach up and go for that middle lane, as now Leah looks to the inside of Fuller, trying to challenge him for the lead. They'll go side by side off of corner number 2. Almost contact between the 2 up front.
Yeah, that was really close off of 2, and that's maybe what we've been saying is like you can get that run just getting the exit off it. So you can see Leah trying to push a little bit, Fuller push him a little bit towards the middle of the track to give himself that little bit extra arc to make it on the exit. But it's close. Oh my goodness. I don't think you could have fit a piece of paper between those 2 cars there.
Wow, look at those guys race side by side. Fuller putting the pinch on the 18, and Leah, he's not afraid to run him up the racetrack, just like here in 3 and 4, side by side, door to door, almost contact again. And had that been the race to the line, it would have been Justin Fuller by 6 1/1000ths of a second. Look at Leah. He runs him up the racetrack again, trying to get the arc off turn 2. Fuller going to get the quarter panel, almost puts himself in the wall, and Leah going to clear him down into turn number 3.
Oh, yeah. So he definitely cleared himself. I don't think Fuller's going to be happy about that, as you see it right there. But he loses momentum. That gives Chad the opening now to get under him for second and keep after Donnie Leah. So Chad's going to have to try to make quick work here of Fuller, which he's able to do, actually. So now he can put his set of sights back in the lead.
So that was way much of an easier pass for second for Chad Cole as it was for Donnie Leah for the lead over Justin Fuller. Fuller, one of those drivers that doesn't really like to surrender the lead if he's out front, and you saw him race Leah real hard there for that position. And Donnie Leah continuing to try and pull away from Chad Cole, but not going to be able to do that as Chad Cole looks to be reeling him in there in that number 82. Chad Cole hungry for his 4th win in a row here in Sim 500 competition.
Yeah, I say it's quite the feat he's accomplished already. I say the fact that he's going for one more, it's unbelievable. And I mean, he's in position to do it. Still early, of course, but we'll see what pit strategies are done here. I say riding on board with Chad Cole right now. Say see Donnie Leah right in front of him, and they're running. Yeah, within about 1/10 of a second, or not even that, half a tenth of a second this last lap. So, yeah, they're right on top of each other. And I expect to see, if you're going to see a 2 pit stop strategy, they'll probably start coming in within the next like 5 or so laps, I believe.
So we'll keep an eye on pit road, see if anything develops down there. Chad Cole maybe sitting back, letting his tires cool off for a couple laps before maybe trying to challenge Donnie Leah out front for the lead. They've got some lap traffic just in front of them. Brian Wortman, Paul Nicholas Cooper, Mark Creighton, the first 3 cars they'll catch, and they're running in a small group among themselves. So we'll keep an eye on that lap traffic, see if that allows Chad Cole to close in any more on the 18 of Donnie Leah. All around the racetrack, though, pretty much single file formation. Everybody in line for the most part. Got a small battle between Jordan Hightower and Scott Simley going on for the 11th position. Hightower gets by. I'm sorry, that would be for the 10th position. Hightower clears the 12 and trying to get back up to the bumper of the 2 and the 08. That's Mike Kelly and Byron Daly. Daly has worked his way from 14th up to 7th. Mike Kelly behind him from 20th to 8th. So some pretty big movers there in that group.
Yeah, so we got our first taker for the pit stops. Looks like we're going to do 2 stops here for Brian Macklin. Overshoots his pit stall just a little bit, able to get back in his box pretty quick though. So we'll see. You'll see here now what new tires versus old tires are going to do speed-wise. But it looks like he's kind of committing to the 2-stop strategy versus stretching to the 1.
So maybe that has changed the minds of some of the drivers thinking about going on the 1-stop strategy. Gael, what do you think?
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a few. I think I just saw, Brian Wortman's in as well. He's going for the 2-stopper as well. I'll say I'd be curious to see about the leaders, what they decide to do. But I don't know. For me, like I said, if I was in the position, especially where the top 3 are, where they have that nice little gap, I would probably just wait and do the 1-stopper if the situation presents itself still. Just because, like I said, it's such a slow pit stop. You lose so much time. I mean, you've got Wortman coming out 3 laps down. Macklin's 2 down now. I think it just makes more sense. Oh, I say Donnie Leah looks like he got into the wall a little bit off of 2 there, so he's got to be careful.
Close call nonetheless, and tires have got to be screaming at the drivers now. If they weren't before, they certainly are now. 55 green laps on a set of tires here at the Monster Mile is quite a bit demanding. And watch the 30. Here's a good example of new tires versus old tires. Macklin right behind Chad Cole. Macklin on the fresh tires. Chad Cole on 55 lap older tires. Oh, he's going to run him over if he's not careful. Wow.
Yeah, the closing speed is super dangerous here with these guys. It's saying right behind him, you've got Brian Wortman, who also pitted, so Chad's got to be ready for that as well.
Brian Wortman working to the inside of Chad Cole, trying to get some laps back here. I want to congratulate him on getting a full-time job in NASCAR, which is what he's been striving to do. Also want to give a shout-out to everybody who donated to his cause, help him get down to Daytona and hand out some resumes. And we're all proud of the driver of that number 89 machine, doing a great job here on track and a great job around the real world tracks every weekend as well. So keep at it, Brian, and best of luck from all of us here at the Sim Racing Network and Sim500 as he gets a lap back there the hard way. So put him back 2 laps down. Brian Macklin down back to now back down to 1 lap down. He's still got some work to do to catch back up all the way around again and get that 1 lap back. But nonetheless, still keep an eye on pit road. But most of the leaders continue to stay out and continue to pace the field here at the Monster Mile. Donnie Leah now has a 1.4 second lead over Chad Cole, and maybe Chad Cole has used some of his stuff up, or maybe he's just riding saving. It's real hard to judge with the 82. Justin Fuller, one of those guys behind him as well in the 51. We've seen him slip around a little bit, but maybe he's still got a little bit left in the tank of that 51. We'll have to wait and see, as Fuller doing everything he can to get back caught up to the 82 as they race down into turn number 1 and 2.
Yeah, definitely. Leah's been putting down some laps right now. He was about 0.4 of a second faster than Chad that last time by. Might just be with those lappers, kind of getting some laps back with the fresh tires. Might be trying to get back into your rhythm. I was saying the track temp's definitely taking a big swing though. It was overcast. Track temp got down to about like 90 degrees, but now it's already back up to 115. So the suns and the clouds are definitely playing havoc on the track temps, and I'm sure that's affecting the drivers as well.
So it's Donnelly, Chad Cole, and Justin Fuller. I guess we could call them the triple threat of this race. You're watching the Kickass Beef Jerky Sunday series on our triple threat streaming service, streaming live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And we remind you, no matter what platform you're tuned in on, give us a follow and give the video a like. Also, turn on notifications so you can be notified whenever we go live. And with that being said, it's Donnie Leah out in front of the field, 1.5 seconds back to Chad Cole. We have been clean and green for the first 62 laps of this race, just over 100 left at the Monster Mile. You won't miss anything on corner to corner. We're going to see when these top 3 come down pit road. You'll see that coming up next right here on the Sim Racing Network. We'll be back from Dover.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
My doctor calls me and says, Chris, I have the results of your scan. This is saying you have lung cancer. And that was probably the single most shocking thing anyone's ever told me in my life.
How can I have lung cancer? I'm 39. How can I have lung cancer? I do kick myself almost daily for ever starting smoking. I really do.
Quit your way. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Welcome back to the Monster Mile as pit stops happening for a good portion of the field, but our top 4 have decided to maybe try and stretch it, make it on one stop, and we'll see if that strategy works for him. Donnie Leah continues to lead. He's got a 2.7 second lead back to Chad Cole, 5.1 back to Justin Fuller, and we've been watching Leah. He has just saved his stuff tremendously, Gael, and he is really showing it here late in this run. We are now 72 laps on this set of tires.
Yeah, we've been kind of looking through the field, watching who's wearing tires and just how they're running. And yeah, Donnie Lee has by far been the quickest on this long run. Every so often, Chad will be within a tenth or so of him, but there's some drivers struggling right now, trying to make that one stopper strategy work. But it's it's with its own problems doing it that way.
Absolutely, and the way they're going now, about 10 more laps they'll have to make on this run just in order to be able to make it on one stop. So they've got 10 more laps of this sideways action, hold on to the wheel, bare knuckle driving strategy here on these old set of tires. So it's really fun for us to watch up here in the booth as Leah closes in on 11th place Joey Jatina, 10th place there of Jordan Hightower. These guys all trying to make it on one stop. He's about to blow by them and say, hey guys, how you doing? Remember, we were close to one another at the beginning of the race, and now 73 laps in, tale of the tale. Who is the better tire saver of those 3 on screen? I think it'd be the 18.
Yeah, I would say at the same time, though, they're going to want to be holding on to the lead lap. And yeah, go 3 wide there. Now, if he's able to clear him or not, and then you got to be careful. You got brand new tires coming right behind there with the number 4, Bob Gillenwater.
Wow, how
Gillenwater, my apologies.
This racing here at Dover, some spectacular driving going on throughout the whole field. It's fun to watch this new tire versus old tire racing around this racetrack. By the way, Brian Macklin, the driver who was one of the first to come down on the pit road, he made up 1 lap pretty quick, and now he is about, I'd say, a quarter of the track away from getting back onto the lead lap. So Macklin, once the top 3 come down pit road, Gael may have the lead for a brief moment.
Yeah, that's where it'll be curious to see how the pit strategies play out with just how much slower they're going. Like I said, Macklin right now is running 12. He's running 20 in the 25s, whereas the leaders are in the 26s. Yeah, take a look
Macklin,
here.
Sorry to cut you off. Macklin going by Chad Cole for, or that's not the second position on track. He's going by the driver who is in second. Now he'll have his sights set on Donnie Leah, who is over 4 seconds ahead of Chad Cole, trying to get his lap back the hard way. And Leah continuing to stay out. Definitely on the one-stop strategy for the top 3, and for a good portion of this field, I'd say 10 or so drivers on the one-stop strategy. As you see Lockhart and Leah going at it there. Lockhart fresher tires in that number 6. Leah continuing to pace the field, now 4.5 seconds back to Chad Cole in the 82. When is the money lap? When did it come in? And for Donnie Leah, it's right now.
This is obviously one of the hardest pit roads to get onto. It looks like he's able to get in pretty nice and clean there. Chad Cole stays out another lap there, so he's going to stretch it a little further. And they should be okay on fuel, I believe, if they can go this far. They just need to make that 5 extra laps, but it'll be curious to see how the new tire difference is between that 1 lap difference on these guys. But there's so many cars and different tires right now. It's pretty crazy to see who's where and how to keep track of it all.
Yeah, this has really got me wondering, Gael. 5 laps, 5 miles, and the caution waves here at Dover, and talk about changing the face of this race. Oh, my.
Look like it was not the 99, may have been the 39 of Daniel Falkingham. I'm trying to take a look here.
It was the 99 was involved slightly.
Oh,
with
it was
that one
further up front, actually.
It was Eric Arnold in the 31 getting turned sideways, and Ryan with nowhere to go, putting us under caution for the first time tonight here at Dover. In the middle of green flag pit stops, the field completely shaken, and well, we're going to try and sort everything out, but just bear with us because there is a lot of mixing up going on right now as you see Arnold going around and Ryan just bam hard into the driver's side door, putting us under caution for the first time here tonight at Dover International Speedway. Wow.
So yeah, so say obviously I believe Donnie Leah either might be the lucky dog or will do the wave around. Obviously he has brand new tires, but some of those guys that pitted way early, they're probably gonna be stuck having to say Chad gets out first in the pits with no problem at all, with Justin Fuller coming out in second. But yeah, that was not what Donnie Leah wanted to see there. Say it worked perfectly for Chad Cole though.
Wow. So still some shaken up to do, and I don't know if these guys behind the pace car plan on pitting this time by or getting to wave around and hoping for a quickie yellow, but there is a lot of wave around cars in position behind the pace car right now, and Creighton and a couple other drivers going to take advantage of the pit road opening. Only at the moment 10 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a few wave rounds here. Looks like you've got, let me get here, Jeff Sharp. Looks like Donnie Leah's at tail end of the lead lap right now. Brian Wortman, Brian Chambliss, Paul Nicholas Cooper, Jeff Ryan, Joey Jettina. Looks like they're all planning on taking the wave around here. Which again, some of them, like Joey for instance, he's only got like 2 or 3 laps in his tire, so it makes perfect sense for him to do the wave around.
So it'll be Chad Cole with the lead, Justin Fuller second, Chad Coleman second, Byron Daly up to fourth. Scott Simley will round out the top 5 for this restart. And from there on back, Brian Macklin, we talked about him. He was one of the first drivers on pit road. He comes down, gets some fresh tires there, worked his way up to 6th. 7th is Mike Kelly. Hightower 8th. Eric Arnold 9th with the damage, so we'll see if that stands. 10th scored Donnie Leah. He'll have to get the wave around, though, here. Jeff Ryan 11th. 12th to Joey Jettina, and 13th to Daniel Falkingham. All those drivers 10 through 13 going to have to get the wave around, which will put them on the tail end of the field here, which is right now still 26 strong.
See, I think I just saw Jeff Ryan hop in the pits. I'm not sure if he was in front or behind of Chad Cole there.
I think he was in position to get the wave around, but that'll put him a lap down.
I'm a little surprised by that.
So that leaves us with, looks like 11 cars restarting this race on the lead lap. Boy, how this race has changed. I thought we were going to see the whole thing go green flag to flag, but a caution right at the halfway point puts us under the first slowdown of this race. 84 of 165 complete. I'd say, oh my goodness, my math is going to suck, but just under 84 laps to go. How about that?
That works for me. I say never was my strong suit either. But yeah, I'll say that was just, I think, situation of different speed, different tire age, and just, yeah, so the pace car's about to come off here, so they'll stack them back up and we'll see what happens.
Here we go. Chad Cole going to lead us back to the green flag for the first time tonight. 2 by 2 by 2. The field behind the 82. Green flag back in the air, and I tell you what, that outside line just does not get moving on the restarts.
Yeah, so that's another good start of the inside line. I'll say we only have one to compare with, obviously, but yeah, it was a good start there for Chad Cole. Fuller's able to hold on to second place, though, coming off of 2, and then you got him 2 by 2 here. Oh, I think Fuller got into the wall a little bit off of 2, actually, there. He's going to have to be careful there. And Byron Daly, though, is up to 3rd place, so it's a good start for him.
for a good portion of these cars on the racetrack, this is the first time they've felt new tires in 80 laps. So they almost forgot what it feels like to be on this much grip.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, one car hard in the wall. It's the 31 of Eric Arnold. Just turned dead right and into the wall down in turn number 1. We stay green, though. I'm sorry. There was contact between he and the 17 of Nick Timms, but we stay green.
Yeah, so we'll take a look on the replay. It looked a little similar to what happened with him when for the yellow that came out just a moment ago as well. But yeah, just kind of had a late arc and 17 was there, and yeah, just kind of bounced off onto him into the wall.
So luckily we stay green after that one, but a big hit for the 31 there, adding on to the damage. And
got
what
a good
about
battle
this?
for fourth.
Yeah, I was going to say a duel for the 4th spot down into turn number 1. Macklin and Coleman going at it for a spot inside the top 5, and Macklin almost pushes up into the 20 there as they continue to race side by side. Just behind them, Scott Simley says, I'm sorry, that's Mike Kelly, says, pick a line. I want to go through as well. And just like that, Coleman going to take a spot away from Macklin, at least for the time being. Down into turn number 1, give Coleman the 4th spot, Macklin back to 5th. Mike Kelly, 6th, 7th, Assembly, Hightower is 8th. Creighton, I'm sorry, he's not in 10th. Looks like we've got maybe the number 4 of Gillenwater in 10th. Actually, Jatina has scored 10th. Way at the back of the field, though, because he got the wave around.
Yeah, so yeah, Leah and Jatina kind of have some work to do to get back up in position. So that really hurt those guys, especially Donnie Leah pitting from the lead. Just one lap too soon, basically.
Absolutely, and they've got a swarm of cars in front of them. Donnie Leah has got to be furious. In the number 18, you lead the race. You have got the race-winning car by a long shot. You know, pull ahead by almost 5 seconds when you head down to pit road, and then the caution flies. That's enough to make you want to slam your fist on your desk.
Yeah, I'm sure there's been some broken headsets from situations like that before. I can't say or not say that that's happened to me in previous races, but yeah, I'd say it's a bad deal. But again, it's still, like you said, just past halfway, so a very good chance that something could come up and give them another opportunity here.
All part of racing as Chad Cole continues to lead here at the Monster Mile, looking for 4 in a row for that number 82. And boy, he loves monsters. He loves Dover, and he is showing that tonight as Chad Cole putting on a clinic after this restart. Maybe didn't have the race-winning car prior to that yellow, but now with Donnie Leah mired back in the field, perfect opportunity has sort of shown itself for the number 82 to maybe find himself in victory lane here. 4 straight wins in a row would happen tonight here in Sim500 competition for Chad Cole. And if that would happen, then he would go for 5 straight tomorrow and then 2 in a row in the Cup Series. And that would be an outstanding feat as well. But we've still got a good portion of this one remaining. Don't want to jinx anybody. Still 70 laps to go, 71 laps to go right here at the line.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Fuller's, if he hears us talking, he's like, yeah, I plan on doing something about that, because he's only half a second behind still, and they're running near identical laps, only 3/1000ths of a difference that last time by. So, yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to do what he can to put an end to that streak. You know, he's upset about his little mistake that cost him last week as well, so he's going to try to redeem his finishes with this one tonight.
And I certainly wouldn't count out the 3-time winner this season who sits now 3rd, Byron Daly. He's got a shot at this thing if the stars align and maybe some problems in front of him or some contact sort of lines him up to be in good position to take the lead. He's always a threat when it comes down to the end of these things.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, he started in 14th position, and like we said, it was green all the way up until there, and to be in 3rd now, I mean, that just shows you what kind of race pace he had. So, I mean, yeah, okay, he's what, 2 seconds off right now, but he might just be kind of taking his time, biding his time with the tires, and once the leaders start having some trouble, that's when he can pounce on them, because we saw that earlier. Fuller was really quick to get going, but then he just couldn't hang on to his tires.
Absolutely. So we continue to watch Donnie Leah come up through the field. He's still 9th right now, but he is closing in on some cars that would be for position. First one he'll get to there, Jordan Hightower, now right in front of him there in the 22. So Hightower going to maybe try and fend off the 18 or maybe just let him by, depending on what kind of mood he's in when he gets there, really, I suppose, as that would be for the 8th position. Hightower has it. Leah stalking him, and he wants it simply just ahead there in 7th position as well. And Donnie Leah is really closing in on these guys, trying to make his way back to the front.
Yeah, so if I was in the position of Jordan Hightower and such, knowing how fast he was, I would probably just kind of be like, yeah, I'll try to see if I can follow you through and make up a couple spots following you. As they say, he takes a look inside the 22, and yeah, sure enough, looks like 22 is not going to put up a big fight there, which I think is the right thing to do. You saw how fast he was earlier, and then just maybe try to tag on there and maybe gain a spot by Simley. Yeah, and plus, I mean, notice the 22's got a little bit of right front damage there. Say there's a lot of cars that are monsters, definitely got to grab onto. So let's say holding onto him pretty well so far, though.
Absolutely, he was one of those drivers that really had a handful as we were closing in on a halfway point and on closing in on the pit stops as well. So Hightower may have tagged the wall, may have got tagged by another car, as you see damage on the right side and to the rear bumper of that 22. Now Donnie Leah looking to get to 7th position. Easy work there as he gets by Scott Simley in the 12. Leah up to 7th, and for now doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon. Every car in front of him now for position, as Chad Cole leads that train in front of him. Justin Fuller 2nd, 3rd is Byron Daly. Good battle for that 3rd spot between Daly, Coleman, and Macklin. Macklin has been all over the bumper and all over the inside door of that number 20 for a good portion of this run, just has not been able to complete the pass yet.
Yeah, so now that Donnie Leah's got some clean track, I'm going to keep an eye on the lap times here. Say that last time by, he was already about half a tenth quicker than Chad Cole and Fuller. However, I think he might be even a little quicker this time by, just with that clean air. And now, say it that way, once he gets to Mike Kelly, it'll slow him up a little bit. But yeah, this will be when he can make some ground and say that time by was about a tenth quicker. So he's still got a ways to go, but I don't know. I mean, if it does stay green the whole way, he's still got 60 laps to work with. I could easily see him make a charge here towards the front. That'd be a pretty impressive run.
Absolutely. We'll keep an eye on all of that and keep an eye on this battle for 3rd through 5th, which is really starting to heat up here as we are just now 60 laps to go from the Monster Mile. You're watching the Kickass Beef Jerky Sunday Series live right here on the Sim Racing Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll keep it on corner to corner so you can see all the action. We'll be back from the Monster Mile.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
My doctor calls me and says, Chris, I have the results of your scan. This is saying you have lung cancer. And that was probably the single most shocking thing anyone's ever told me in my life.
How can I have lung cancer? I'm 39. How can I have lung cancer? I do kick myself almost daily for ever starting smoking. I really do.
Quit your way. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
You saw the contact in our corner-to-corner coverage, and now Macklin getting a little sideways there. Chad Coleman going for a slide off turn 2, loses only one position somehow. A great save by the number 20. Back behind Coleman, it's Donnie Leah to the inside of Mike Kelly. That would be for the 6th position. And go ahead and give it to Leah there, down in 1 and 2. And Kelly closes right back up to the rear bumper, saying, hello, I'm still here. You make a mistake, I'm going to get right back by you. But I don't think we'll see Donnie Leah make a mistake. He's got a little bit of right side damage on that machine. Not sure where it came from, but he's pretty much been mistake-free the whole race.
Yes, I think just a lot of these guys looks like they got some right side, right front damage. I think just, again, this track, just, it bites, and so a lot of them just pop the wall a little bit off the exits of 2 and 4. But yeah, Donnie Lee is making a good gain here. So he was about 5 seconds back from the lead at the break, and he's, I'll say now he lost a little time getting by Mike Kelly, but he's been up, caution's out.
Oh my, and that changes everything as they're crashing on the back straightaway. It's Joey Jatina in the 14 around with the 17 of Nick Timms, putting us under caution for the 2nd time. And a big crash on the backstretch for those 2 drivers.
Yeah, I'll take a look at the replay here, see what happened. Yeah, it looks like Joey just got a little loose maybe off 2, and then, yeah, 17 just had a huge head of steam and just drove right into that left rear and sent them both around.
So, that puts us under caution for the 2nd time and really changes this race up big time again. Here at the Monster Mile, Donnie Leah had just gotten around Mike Kelly for 6th. And now he's hoping for a good pit stop here to maybe boost him into that top 5. And, well, just like that, now Donnie Leah's back in it, and he's got a chance to win here at Dover.
Yeah, so everybody's going to pit here. I don't think you'll see any strategies on this one. It's going to be 4 tires and probably fuel to keep the balance right. But, yeah, it's going to be keys just to hit your marks, don't overshoot your pit stall. And then, yes, this is going to be, we'll restart with what, about 40, what was that, 40, 45 to go, somewhere in that range?
Yeah, somewhere around, I'd say 45 to go. So it's really going to be go time for a lot of these guys. Not crunch time, but go time nonetheless, as Cole gets into his pit box smooth, as does Macklin and a handful of the other top competitors there as well. So we'll see who's going to win the race off. Chad Cole down and away. Give him the lead,
may have gone
maybe.
to full, or?
Oh, it's going to go to Fuller. So Justin Fuller with that first pit box really gives him a lot of advantage there, and he wins the race off of pit road. But I was looking at Fuller there, and looks like a lot of right front damage on that 51. Don't know if that's just my screen or if it's actually there.
Yeah, no, I think he's gotten the wall a few times. I think it was mostly during that first green flag run when he started getting pretty loose there. But say track's really cloudy right now, and say track temp is dropping fast. So I think you're going to see some really fast lap times on this restart, just with everybody trying to get everything they can with the new tires, and then obviously just good track temps. And then, yeah, they know the race is going to be finishing up pretty quick here.
So Justin Fuller, we'll keep an eye on him. He led the field to the initial green flag. Got a good jump on everybody. So now we'll see how Chad Cole does on that outside of the front row, or maybe Fuller decides to choose the outside for this restart. You never know with the games these guys play. Also, keep in mind Brian Macklin there in the 30. We've seen how big of a fight he puts up on the opening laps of these runs. So if Fuller gets a good run from the inside on this restart, that allows Macklin to get side by side with Chad Cole, and then those two start to race it out, and Fuller just kind of drives into the sunset. We'll keep an eye on everything. Restart coming up here at the Monster Mile. You're watching the Kickass Beef Jerky Sunday series on the Sim Racing Network. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. It's Justin Fuller leading Chad Cole, Brian Macklin, Byron Daly, Chad Coleman, Donnie Leah, Mike Kelly, Scott Simley, Jordan Hightower, and Bob Gillenwater to top 10 as we're set for the restart here at the Monster Mile. Lights off at TopDIRacing.com. Ford Mustang Pace Car. Justin Fuller going to choose the inside line for this restart. And here we go, Gael. 46 laps to go. Have we seen the final caution of the night?
I'm going to say no at this point, just because I think, business is going to start picking up now. Everybody's going to be that little extra aggressive, and I say at Dover, you can't really get away with that usually. So, I think this isn't the last one we see. So
here we go as we get set to restart with 46 laps to go. Justin Fuller, Chad Cole, side by side for this restart. We're going to go on board with Justin Fuller for this restart. This is going to be a sort of a crank it up moment here as we'll go on board for a lap or two with leader Justin Fuller. So he brings us to the green flag. They stack him up 2 by 2 by 2. Let's turn it up. Oh, and close call there in a battle for second. Macklin tags the wall. Cole has to jump out of it. And Donnie Leah, early race leader, has tagged the wall on the back straightaway himself. As well, I was just about to talk about the boost of momentum he had coming up through the field, and that kind of slows it all down there as Justin Fuller begins to open up his lead out front.
Yeah, just like you talked about, Fuller could get Macklin in front of Chad Cole and see if he could just try to set sail. And so far, I'll say it's mission accomplished for Justin Fuller. So he's just got to keep hitting his marks, and Chad Cole's just got to try to regroup and get after Macklin again. Yeah, unfortunately, Macklin got the wall a little bit, which then got him down into Chad. I say Chad's got a little bit of a crinkled right front as well now. So see if that makes any difference on the way the car's handling. But yeah, he's got his work cut out for him now.
Nonetheless, though, it's certainly heating up here in the final laps of this one. 41 now laps to go at Dover, this time by at the flag stand. Macklin sits second, holding off Chad Cole for now. And Justin Fuller out in front of this thing, trying to sail off into the sunset. Same exact interval there at the line for the past 2 laps from Fuller to Macklin. So we'll keep an eye on those two drivers. Haven't really talked much about Macklin tonight. I mean, he's been in the conversation, but not much in the conversation as a threat to win. But here in the last 60 so laps, Gael, he's kind of etched his name inside the top 5 and really started to become maybe a factor to get the checkered flag tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I'll say he had that pit strategy earlier, which looked like it was going to work out well. So say as we got Donnie Leah, it's really close between him and Chad Cole for third there. I thought for sure they were going to be going around, but able to hang on to it. They say side by side down the front stretch here.
Cole knows if Leah gets by him, it may be his only shot at the win. Go right by him, and that's why Chad Cole fighting hard on the outside. They're side by side for third. Up front, Brian Macklin running down Justin Fuller, and boy, Leah runs the 82 up the track in 3 and 4, and Cole doing everything he can to stay to the outside, but he's got to give the position to Leah. That time by down into turn number 1, and Donnie Leah back into the top 3, back into the picture, and here he comes trying to chase down the top 2 for a chance to win.
Yeah, like you said, though, we were talking about Macklin before that battle there, and I'd say definitely he's in the picture obviously now. I mean, look at this. He's chasing down Justin Fuller. He's been about half a tenth to a tenth quicker those last few laps, and he was about 6/10 back. He's only about 3/10 now, so he's right there.
So Macklin he's almost on the bumper of Fuller as we close in on lap 130 here. 36 laps to go at the line this time by. Justin Fuller now got a mirror full of that number 30 machine of Brian Macklin. Just under 3/10 there at the line, and if Macklin's not careful, Donnie Leah's going to have he's going to be in the bumper of the number 30 machine as well. We're going to have a good battle for the win coming down in the final laps of this one. 35 laps to go at the Monster Mile.
Yeah, saying Leah was a tenth faster that last time by than the leader, so now he's definitely on his way. And yeah, unfortunately with Chad Cole, I think that right front damage might be affecting his car just that little bit, so he's still hanging on in fourth, but I think right now it looks like it might be a bit of a 3-car battle for the win here.
So we'll keep an eye on everything up front behind them. Some pretty close battles, one being led by Scott Simley, who sits 8th. He's leading Jordan Hightower, Bob Gillenwater, Dwight Beverly, and Brian Chambliss. A couple of those cars a lap down in that mix, but they're still all going at it pretty hard. Little gaggle of cars there just in front of them. Chad Coleman trying to chase down Byron Daly for what would be a spot inside the top 5. So we'll keep an eye on those 2 cars over the course of this run as well. But throughout the rest of the field, everybody pretty much single file and in their own little zone. 3 cars just in front of the leader happen to be Jeff Ryan, Tommy Ryan, and Joey Jatina. And Fuller, the way he's running right now, really going to run up on these guys pretty quick. And we'll see if they have any effect on the outcome of this race. 134 of 165 on the board, and we're getting closer and closer to crunch time here at the Monster Mile.
Yep, and I think Donnie Leah was listening to, because he is on the back bumper of Brian Macklin now. He took a peek in 3. Macklin did not let him have it there. But I'd say he's got a really nice exit coming off of 4 here if he can try to duck under. Oh, Macklin's looks like he either got loose or maybe protecting, or a little bit of both. But Leah's still going to make the run here underneath and try to see if he can get that second spot. Oh, they're close off of 2.
We've seen how hard Macklin has run. He is by far the hardest person to pass in Sim500 competition. I can attest that myself. I've raced around him, and now they're going to have to deal with the lap traffic just in front of him as Leah was all sorts of sideways and crossed up off turn 4. Fuller loves what he's seeing in the mirror. Not so much out the windshield, although they get out of his way. And now the 2 behind are trapped. And look out, a close call there as Macklin dives to the inside of the 14. Wow, that was close down in turn 3.
Yeah, that was, Leah gets really loose off 4. He's able to hang on to it, but yeah, that was a very close call there. So these guys are on older tires. They got that wave around, hoping for a timely yellow. Weren't able to get it, but yeah, that was really close there. So now Leah's got to kind of regroup and go after Macklin one more time here. But say they're not letting Fuller get very far away, though. He's still only about a half a second, so he's still got to be careful with these 2.
Absolutely. So if you're Brian Macklin, wins the go time, and if you're Donnie Leah, wins the absolute longest you can wait to get around to 30? I think we know the answer to the second question because Leah is ready to get around that 30 machine. He wants to chase down Justin Fuller, but Macklin is just not going to let him by. And for anything, he is just one of the hardest persons to pass, and he is really showing it off of turn 4. Now Leah to the inside again. Leah's going to have to run him up the track, do something to try and get around that 30 machine. Macklin not going to make it easy for him. Puts the pinch on him off turn 2. He's in the wall trying to defend the spot.
Yeah, it's almost the same as what happened with him and Chad Cole a little earlier. But this time, though, I think he gets to the back of Leah.
Wow. Leah runs him clean in 1 and 2, and now Leah's going to run him down the racetrack. He says, I passed you cleanly, and then you're going to dump me almost in 3 and 4. Now Leah back to the inside. If they keep this up, Justin Fuller's got a checkered flag waiting for him. 25 laps to go at Dover.
Yeah, I'd say it's either a checker flag or a caution flag at this point. So they have to be careful with each other. Obviously, there's going to be some frustration there, but I think Leah might be able to clear him entering 1 here.
Boy, Macklin still putting the pinch on Leah. Leah puts the power down. Slide job coming off 2, and he's got it for now. We'll see if Macklin is going to be content with that, and it looks like he's going to have to be because Leah is just that much quicker than the 30 machine. So now Donnie Leah, he did have a half a second to work with. Now he's got a second and a half to try and eat off of Justin Fuller's lead. Although if anyone can do it, I think it's going to be the driver of that number 18. He has been so quick all night long, has Donnie Leah. And we're working in on 20 to go. 23 laps this time by for Donnie Leah to get it done.
Yeah, it definitely did not help him with the time difference. But yeah, so definitely he'll still have a chance at, like I said, that last time by he was just over a tenth of a second faster than Fuller. So say now you kind of get back in that rhythm like I've talked about and kind of, yeah, get after Fuller. So not too much lap traffic for Fuller to worry about at this point. So he just needs to look forward and not even worry about Leah and just hit his marks.
So we'll see. 21 laps to go, 22, that time 21 coming up as Chad Cole now on the bumper of Brian Macklin for the 3rd spot. Final podium position up for grabs as Donnie Leah is wheeling that number 18 machine, trying to catch the 51 of Justin Fuller. Chad Cole now to the inside of Macklin. Can Leah get to Fuller? And can Cole get to the 2 leaders if they start getting side by side and racing with one another?
Yeah, so it was a good move by Cole there. He's able to get that top to bottom move to get the exit speed and able to complete that pass on Brian Macklin there.
We're now in crunch time, this time at the line. 20 laps to go for Justin Fuller. Can he hold on and win? Here at Dover International Speedway, he opened the lead up by about a half a tenth that time by. So maybe Leah has used up every last bit of what he's got. We'll see. With 19 to go this time by, it's looking good for the 15 of Justin Fuller. 51 of Fuller, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm doing the same thing, just watching these lap times here. Yeah, well, about half a tenth that time for Leah over Fuller. Chad Cole is just the same lap time as Fuller as well. So again, it looks like those top 3 are definitely kind of pacing the field as well. But Byron Daly's running some good lap times as well. So I think he might start making his move for that 4th place on Brian Macklin.
So a lot going on in the final 20 laps of this one. Leah trying to catch leader Justin Fuller, and Chad Cole may have to accept defeat tonight. He was in a good position earlier in the race, but starting second and got caught up in a fierce battle with Brian Macklin, kind of maybe ended his chance at a win here tonight. But Justin Fuller loving what he saw all night long after that final restart, I should say. In his rearview mirror, he has just been on a tear out front. Nobody has come close. Macklin was there at one point, but slipped back in the battle he had with Donnie Leah. Leah doing everything he can to catch the 51, but at the moment I don't see him doing it with 16 to go.
Yeah, still watching the lap times. He's got it down to about a second now. And actually, yeah, the last 2 laps though, Chad Cole's been the fastest guy on track. So I say he's got more gap to have to try to make up. Obviously, he's 2 seconds back of the lead, but yeah, I don't think Leah's done yet. He's been running a little quicker than Fuller. I've seen him changing their lines, trying to run more, kind of wash up to the middle, then really get that hard exit. Track's been warming up a little bit. I say Fuller's got to be careful. He hit the apron there entering one. That's not going to be the line you want to take at Dover.
Absolutely not. And we'll see if Leah's able to cut in on that lead this time by at the flag stand. Battle for 4th. Byron Daly on the bumper of Brian Macklin as they race down into turn number 3 and 4 and throw Chad Coleman in the mix as well. And that number 20 machine, here comes Daly to the inside looking for 4th down in turn number 1. And boy, Macklin just almost gave it to the 06 there through 1 and 2. Daly up to 4th this time by, and now Macklin under fire from Coleman, and Macklin now looking back to the inside of Daly, trying to get that position back. We watched that as that battle for the lead continues to shrink. It's down to 0.6 of a second, and Chad Cole 1.6. So either Leah and Cole are stepping it up, or Fuller is dropping off, one or the other.
Yeah, that's what I was keeping an eye on, those lap times. Like I said, Chad Cole's been one of the fastest cars these last few laps. But yeah, they've been about 0.2 or so faster than Fuller these last couple of laps here. So Fuller's going to have to try to pick it up, which he did there. He picked up 1/10 over his last lap time. However, Leah and Cole were still 1/10 faster than that. So yeah, they're on their way as they were coming close here to almost 10 to go. So it's going to get exciting here.
11 laps to go this time for Justin Fuller. Brian Wertman, the lap machine, just in front there. We'll see him most likely move out of the way and let these guys battle it out. He does just that down here in 1 and 2. Got to be careful where Leah catches him here, though. Very sportsman move by the 89 machinist, Justin Fuller. Handful of wheel off of turn number 2. The 51 sideways as Leah almost on the bumper of the 51 with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, this is going to get exciting quick here. Like I said, they're all running pretty close lap times. Fuller was about half a second slower than Leah and Cole. Byron Daly put on a really fast lap there as well, but again, I think he's too far out of it at this point. But I think Chad Cole's hope is that these two start fighting hard and he can kind of get right to him.
9 to go for Fuller, and boy, that 18 growing larger and larger in the rear view. He is counting down the laps, and Leah, he wants this race to be a little bit longer lap by lap. He's doing everything he can to get to the bumper of the 51. Is he going to get there in time, and how does he make the move on Justin Fuller? 8 laps to go at the Monster Mile.
Yeah, Fuller's definitely been picking up his lap times, but the problem is, man, Leah's picking him up too. He's put down a 25.2 compared to Fuller's 25.3. So yeah, he's picking it up right now big time.
So Donnie Leah now is there. He is on the bumper of the 51. 7 laps to go for Justin Fuller, and can he hold on to win this thing? We saw him challenge Chad Cole for the lead earlier in this race. Chad Cole caught him, really had to put up a fierce battle. Fuller did not let him by easily, and I can guarantee you for the win, he's not going to pull over and let the 18 go. And they've also got a little bit of lap traffic in front of them too. 6 laps to go. Leah is there. When does he make the move?
I think he's going to have to make it as soon as he can, because I mean, we're within 5 to go here just about, so he's got to be careful, because if there's a yellow, that's going to be the race. So I think at this point, as soon as he gets to the opening, he's got to take it. And I say Chad Cole's closing that gap as well. So if they start fighting too hard, it's going to be a 3-car fight for the lead here.
Do they use the lap traffic as a pick? Donnie Leah trying to maybe set up the 51 here. There's the 28 machine up the racetrack. That's Coburn. Very sportsmanlike of him to get up and out of the way. Here comes Leah. Fuller throws the block. Maybe a bumper there as Fuller and Leah go side by side for the lead in 3 and 4. 3 wide with the lap traffic. Leah on the outside, Fuller on the bottom. Leah to the lead at Dover.
If I was Fuller, I would not have given up the top side there just from the momentum. So he had to do what he felt like.
Fuller comes back and gets into the 18. The caution flies. Oh my, he turned him off of turn number 2. Donnie Leah goes around off the bumper of the 51. And my, oh my.
That's not going to be a very happy Donnie Leah, and not the way you want to finish up a race there.
I am not believing that. A spectacular race for the win. Donnie Leah in the 18. Maybe need to keep a camera on him. Looked like he was fired up coming through the field. Had some choice words for Fuller over the radio. Still going at it. Not a happy camper is Donnie Leah. Certainly his race to lose there. My, oh my. Unbelievable turn of events.
Yeah, I don't not much to say about that one, unfortunately. Leah made a really nice move. I mean, unless Fuller maybe felt like he got into him on the back stretch when he was trying to protect the bottom. I don't know. Obviously, there's a lot of emotions going on under or behind the driver's seats of these things. So, yeah, that's not the way you want to finish it, unfortunately. So at the moment, it looks like it'll be Fuller taking the win over Chad Cole, and then Byron Daly finishing third. I don't know how Sim500 will, if they do anything for the ruling on that one, or if that's just how it's going to stand.
I do believe that'll be the finishing order as it stands right now, although we will say unofficially, just in case anything were to happen post-race, but unofficially, Justin Fuller going to pick up the victory. Chad Cole coming home second. Byron Daly will round out the top 3. How about Chad Cole? Man, he was hoping they would get together. I guarantee you he was hoping they didn't crash like that. He was hoping that they would just slow down and give him a shot to get the win, but nonetheless, though, Donnie Leah makes a power move on the outside of Fuller down in turn number 3 and 4. The lap traffic all in the way, clears him, and then off of turn 2 next time by, Fuller just, I hate to use this term, but he plain up dumped him off the turn for the win. It's boys have at it, I guess you could say, as Justin Fuller victorious here at Dover International Speedway. They get the white flag there. He's not officially got the win. Wow, just a crazy way to end this spectacular race.
Yeah, it was a really good race. I say it's kind of a shame to have it end like that. Went pretty much over half the race there under green to start off with, and I say they did a really good job even on that last run there. I say they ran 45, 49 laps there under green, and I say those tires were starting to wear as well. And it was just a really nice move by Donnie Leah to get to the top side of Fuller there. And that's where the momentum was. I was a little worried about Fuller trying to protect the bottom so hard, because that opens up the top, and then you just can't get the power down. And so sure enough, that's how he was able to get around. But yeah, kind of a shame that it had to end like that, though.
Absolutely. Nonetheless, though, off turn number 4, he's going to end the streak, and Justin Fuller going to pick up the victory here at the Monster Mile after some controversy. Nonetheless, though, Fuller victorious in Delaware. Chad Cole comes home second, third to Byron Daly, and here comes, bam, we were expecting that as post-race altercation between Donnie Leah and Justin Fuller. Of course, Fuller getting into Donnie Leah off turn 2, turning him for the win here at Dover.
Yeah, was a good run there for Byron Daly, starting 14th, get all the way up to 3rd, and then Mike Kelly as well, finishing 6th after starting 20th. So really good runs there. So unfortunately for Daniel Fockham, that damage early on, I say he'll salvage a 12th place finish, so it's not too bad, but yeah, definitely not what he'd be hoping for.
Wow. So that's exciting. We'll talk with the podium finishers and maybe try and squeeze in a word with Donnie Leah right after this. You're watching the Kickass Beef Jerky Sunday Series live on the Sim Racing Network. We'll be back with the post-race.
All right, Watson, let's analyze the chemicals in this cigarette smoke. Cadmium?
Check.
Formaldehyde?
Check.
Arsenic?
Sir, isn't arsenic what they used in rat poison?
Yeah, isn't arsenic what they use in rat poison?
Oh, what was I thinking, sir? It's not like we're gonna smoke them.
Neither will the rats.
Tobacco is no joke. Cigarette smoke has over 7,000 chemicals. Learn more at thefactsnow.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
My doctor calls me and says, Chris, I have the results of your scan. This is saying you have lung cancer. And that was probably the single most shocking thing anyone's ever told me in my life.
How can I have lung cancer? I'm 39. How can I have lung cancer? I do kick myself almost daily for ever starting smoking. I really do.
Quit your way. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Welcome back to the Monster Mile, and caught up with the driver who is going to be scored 9th this evening, Donnie Leah. Not the way he wanted to end this race. A very up and down race. Led a good portion of the opening laps of this one all the way up until that green flag pit stop where he got caught in the pit road due to a caution. And then it was kind of downhill for a brief moment. Then it started going uphill. You got there, challenged for the lead, and walk us through what happened in those final closing laps.
No, it's really. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
No, it's the racing was good. I got to thank Joey and everybody Sim500, you guys for putting this on every week. You guys do a great job. So yeah, no, thank you, man. No, it was a good run. The racing was good. It was a lot of fun for me. I don't know. I found something there, and just had something I think nobody else had tonight. So, and it was fun. Passed a lot of cars, but Sim500 for me. I've been messing around with this league now for I don't know, almost a year, maybe 6 months, and I figured out about every single which way to lose one of these races, and still haven't won one. And that's okay though. That makes it fun, It's just tough, I get to get on here if I'm lucky. Once a week. Sometimes 2-3 weeks go by without turning a lap, and these guys run all the time. So for me, just to run up front is it's fun. It's a good time because I really, I don't get to practice at all, So, but yeah, Fuller, I don't know what his deal is, but just like everybody else in this league, pretty much, they'll be riding around, and then when I get to them, they'll race me probably 10 times as hard as they'll race anybody else, and I don't know, maybe they get the thrill out of knowing I once drove a real race car, you know, and I know, probably none of them ever have, and it's something that they get excited about, I guess, when I start racing around. And for me, it's just a hobby, it's fun, but a guy like Fuller, it's his life, so he probably feels good about himself right now, and he should. He won his computer game, and that's what he's on earth to do.
We certainly appreciate you taking the time to chat with us, Donnie. I know the race didn't end up how you wanted it to. Come back next week, though. Try again at Charlotte, and I'm sure you'll get that first victory pretty soon.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That was fun. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you very much. That's Donnie Leah, finished 9th tonight, and usually we don't interview 9th place Gael, but with Donnie there, he had just a great shot at winning tonight's event, and we wanted to get his take on everything. Now, though, you've caught up with Byron Daly, who found himself from 14th up to 3rd at the finish of this thing. A great run for the driver who's won 3 times already this season.
Yeah, so they caught up the 06 of Byron Daly. Yeah, like you said, really good run for him. Had to work his way through the field. As they take us through your race. Let's say you started 14th, but I'm saying obviously a really long green flag run there to start with, but you made up a lot of spots there.
Yeah, I was really hoping to get my season turned around, like honestly last week at Talladega, but got crashed out of the lead there and qualified poorly here. It just figures to be more of the same, but got kind of lucky. Setup was really, really tight while it was hot out. Like it was hard to pass, hard to really do anything. So, just fortunate that now that iRacing's got the dynamic skies, the track changes as the the race goes on, so you can kind of find something, make some speed, and took advantage of that, and I guess we're 3rd.
Yeah, we were commenting on that, watching the clouds and then the sun pop up. I mean, the track temp changed like I want to say at least 20 plus degrees, where it was like at 1.120, then getting down into the 90s towards the end with the overcast. So yeah, it definitely played a role in there. Did you have any going into it? Did you have any strategy on doing the 1 stop or 2 stops or anything like that?
Well, like I was talking about with some of my teammates, like at Dover, if you pit, you lose 2 laps. It's really hard to want to convince yourself to do anything other than stay out as long as possible. Well, although it might be faster to pit, you kind of just you're at the mercy of what the guys in front do. So I was committed to waiting until the leader pitted, and the leader pitted. I decided to go 1 more lap and got lucky there with that caution. So I was almost a victim of that, and fortunately that didn't happen. So.
Yeah, so it was a really good run for you. Hopefully it'll be the start to turn around your season. Like you said, a couple of rough races, but you've got 3 already this season, so I wouldn't be surprised to see you doing some more. But definitely want to give you a moment here. Any thanks or shout outs while you have the opportunity?
No, just thanks to you guys for broadcasting this deal. And thanks to Sim500 for putting it on. It's always fun to kind of hear and run. And yeah, we'll see what we can do a couple weeks from now, or I guess 3 weeks from now, Charlotte weekend. So yeah, thanks to you guys.
All right, there you have it. Your 3rd place finisher, Byron Daly, with the 06 finishing 3rd after starting 14th. So a really good run for him today.
Great run. 3 wins already this season. Now send it down with a driver who may be a little disappointed he didn't keep the streak going, but hey, 3 wins in a row, still pretty exciting, and now he gets to go back tomorrow and try and start that winning streak all over again. The Big Cat comes home runner-up tonight, and he had a front row seat to that madness in front of him.
Yeah, so that was a pretty exciting ending there. But before we get to that, though, I figured, Chad, why don't you take us through your race there tonight?
Well, we had a pretty good qualifying effort, as Ben pointed out, in on the grid there. So I was pretty happy with the 5th place there, knowing how difficult it was going to be to pass tonight. First lap got pretty crazy right away. There's a lap car and just took out one of the leaders right away. I have no idea what happened. It was pretty scary though, because he was really off the pace, and Falkingham just clocked him. Other than that, I mean, I think ran a pretty good race. I think that clean air is just really king though. I've never seen these guys check out so far with so much damage to their right front fenders, and I wish I had that advantage. I have no idea what's going on, if the iRacing damage just showing worse than it really is or what, but those guys checked out there. Um, I think I just pretty much ended up getting beat on pit road. There is what it came down to. Fuller had the first pit stall, and he definitely earned that advantage, and it came through for him getting off pit road there and got him the race.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like whoever was able to lead the start of the start or restart definitely was able to kind of set sail there. And then it looked like you had a really good chance of trying to get right into second right off the bat, though. And then unfortunately with Brian Macklin, he kind of slid up into you a little bit, or sorry, actually bounced off the wall and bumped into you a little bit. So that kind of killed your momentum there. You kind of had to regroup and go from there. However, of course, we have to ask, what did you see from your cockpit there of that last few laps there between Fuller and Donnie Leah?
Yeah, Macklin just caught the wall there a little bit and got my right front. Had a little bit of damage, but nothing too much. Going for the win in Sim500, man, you you got to be prepared with those guys going head to head. You never know what's going to happen, and I was definitely on my toes, waiting for anything. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping Fuller would go around with them too, and I'd grab the win there, cheapy. But it's all good. I'd rather not get into their skirmish too much.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I say no luck on the four wins in a row here. However, I say got 3 wins in a row followed by a second, and you've got tomorrow at Dover as well to see what you can do there in the Cup car. But yeah, definitely want to give you a moment here. Any shout out or thanks while you have the opportunity?
Yeah, it'll be good momentum going into tomorrow night. I really like Dover. I don't know what it is. We just kind of click together. But I got to give a shout out to Kickass Beef Jerky. Excuse me, easy for me to say. Kickass Beef Jerky for coming on board for the Sunday series, sponsoring Sim500. It's really cool to have them on board. You guys, SRN, for all the work you do, and Sim500 admins for putting on this deal too. A lot of collaboration going on. It's really great.
All right, Gary, you have it. Your second place finisher, one short from getting the 4 in the row. Say one of our slightly biased favorites of the number 82, Chad the Big Cat Cole. And I believe we have a Victory Lane interview coming up here, so I will pass it on over to you, sir.
Absolutely. Justin Fuller started on the pole, led the most laps, and, well, finished on top of the pylon as well. A pretty picture-perfect night. We'll get to those last couple laps in a little bit, Justin, but a pretty picture-perfect night for the most part for the 51 machine. A little bit of right side damage, but didn't slow you down at all at any point in this race.
Yeah, we got a little damage there. It was on a restart. I wasn't paying attention off turn 2, first lap, and just tagged the wall a little bit. Wasn't too bad. I was happy to get the pole. I haven't gotten a pole all season after getting so many last year, and I was probably more excited about that than anything tonight. But what a great race! I mean, we had some long runs. I was terrible on long runs, but we had some green flag pit stops that were coming in there. Unfortunately, we had a caution come out there and ruined a little bit. But what a great race! That was probably one of the best races of the season.
Great race indeed. Talk about Chad Cole said clean air was king tonight. Did you feel the same out in front leading those 91 laps? By the way, most laps led tonight.
Oh, for sure. I definitely clean air definitely helped. Didn't help me as much on the long run as I was hoping. The end of that long run, my right front tire was absolutely gone. We had absolutely no turn on exit, and it was showing. I mean, everybody that was in front of me was just absolutely yanked, absolutely gone. So, but yeah, it's just a really good race.
Great race indeed. And now, we are part of the media, so we do have to talk about those last 5 laps. What did you see from the cockpit of your car?
Well, like I said, I wasn't very good on the long run, and I was in a really good rhythm, and I was maintaining the gap. I hit the apron and going into one time, and it screwed me all up for a few laps, and it really allowed him to catch me, Donnie. He ran a really great race. He got trapped a lap down, and he came back to the field, fastest car on the long run by far. But we were racing for the win. I don't race that way every time. Donnie and I have a history here. I thought we were over it. I might have just rekindled it. However, I felt bad in the moment. he made some comments with his feeble mind, and I don't feel as bad anymore. And then after watching the replay, I mean, I never really came up. I came up a little bit, but he was coming down the track, and I mean, at that point, I'm not going to lift for you with 2 to go. He set up the track to get an arc off the corner. We were racing through some lap traffic, and I was just trying to get a run on him underneath, and just maybe he would make a mistake on the corner, and I'd be able to get under him and maybe pinch him behind a lap car or something. But yeah, I mean, it's just racing for the win. It's not like I just drove off on corner exit and dumped him. It may look that way, but if you really watch the replay, he's coming down. I came up a touch for corner exit, and he was just coming down the track to diamond off the corner, basically. But after his comments in the server, he says that this doesn't mean a whole lot to him, but the way that he was acting in the server and during his interview with you guys, it means a lot more to him than what he's saying. So yeah, maybe we'll get over it sometime. I'm sure he'll dump me at some point again, and cycle will just continue. He wrecked me a long time ago, and we've always just raced each other hard ever since. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
Gotta love it. It's good for us up in the booth to have a little bit of drama week in, week out, going for the win, some hard racing. Although Justin Fuller has a checkered flag at the end of the night here at Dover. Who do you want to thank for putting you in victory lane?
First, I want to thank Sean Yoder. He came on board last minute today and sponsored me for this and the Cup Series tomorrow night. So I want to thank him with Nemesis Lab. What a way to get the pole, lead the most laps, win the race. First race out. I want to thank Kickass Beef Jerky for sponsoring the series. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to do this. So I want to thank all the admins and Sim500.com for the league itself. They put a lot of work into this, and it shows with we had a really great race tonight. So, I mean, it really shows. I want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. I would say normally that I would watch it tomorrow while I'm at work, but I'm probably going to be watching the Cup race. So we probably won't watch the broadcast tomorrow, but we'll see. Maybe squeeze it in the early morning. We'll go back and forth on that. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, what a great race. I want to thank all my teammates at Aftermath Motorsports too, and looking forward to tomorrow night.
There you go. Tomorrow night, same place, same time. Just a little bit different cars. Justin, thanks for chatting with us, and good luck tomorrow, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. Have a good night.
There you have it. Justin Fuller victorious at the Monster Mile, and boy, Gael, we got the tale of two tales there. One story versus another, and here we are in the middle. We're just the question askers.
Yeah, I say. I mean, that's what brings the people to watch. I say. I mean, you've seen it with, let's say. I mean, go way back. I mean, obviously more recently with Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick, people like that. And I say that's part of sports, part of racing. Is there's going to be the drama of who did what or who was at fault. But I say that's why people come to watch the show.
Absolutely, what a great show, indeed, and we look forward to hopefully the same tomorrow night in the Trans-Service Cup Series live right here on the Sim Racing Network, 9 p.m. Eastern, when you can catch the broadcast live on our Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, part of SRN's Triple Threat streaming. So that'll do it for us tonight. Thanks to Kickass Beef Jerky. By the way, if you were wondering what the Kickass move of the night was, we'll call it the move for the lead on the backstretch from Donnie Leah when he swung to the outside. It made a power move on the 51. That'll be the Kickass move of the night. But for Gael Brooks, Aaron Grosskopf, I am Ben Kilcrease. We're signing off from the Monster Mile tonight. Remember, when you're out there on the roads, to put the phone down. We'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on the Sim Racing Network. Good night from Dover.